Hey everyone, it's your girl Desiree, and I'm back with another video. This is also like another impromptu last minute thing. It came upon my mind to impart this message. It actually was influenced by something that I was looking at online, um, on Instagram that I was reading, and I want to read it to y'all. See if I can find it. This is something that I had learned about before, so it was like a good reminder. It's actually a devotional that somebody posted in their stories, and I'll read it quickly. So it says, "Be still in my presence, even though countless tasks clamor for your attention. Nothing is as important as spending time with me. While you wait in my presence, I do my best work within you, transforming you by the renewing of your mind. If you skimp on this time with me, you may plunge headlong into the wrong activities, missing the richness of what I have planned for you. Do not seek me primarily for what I can give you. Remember that I, the giver, am infinitely greater than any gift I might impart to you. Though I delight in blessing my children, I am deeply grieved when my blessings become idols in their hearts. Anything can be an idol if it distracts you from me as your first love. When I am the ultimate desire of your heart, you are safe from the danger of idolatry. As you wait in my presence, enjoy the greatest gift of all, Christ in you, the hope of glory." Um, and then it says Romans 12:2, Revelation 2:4, Colossians 1:27. So I just thought that was kind of like really cool because, like I said, this is something that I had learned about before, how anything can become an idol. And then I thought about how we live in such an idolatrous society and how we really idolize celebrities, politicians, influencers, just people of a certain prominence, even within churches. And there's nothing wrong with admiring people of a certain prestige. There's nothing wrong with admiring people, especially if they really put the work in. They have a certain level of talent. Some people have talents and gifts. I should say gifts that are way beyond others that others have on average, right? So, for example, like Whitney Houston, like her level of singing was far above the average level of singing, right? Like she was a legend, and her legacy will continue to live on. So it's nothing wrong with admiring that. It's nothing wrong with actually appreciating that and giving recognition and saying, wow, like God blessed her with such an amazing voice. Yes, she did the work to perfect her voice. That's still needed, no matter how great somebody's voice is. They still have to perfect it. They still have to craft their skill, right? But some people just have a gift, right? And that's just something that we just have to acknowledge. And that's how it is with each one of us. Each one of us has our own gift. Even though some of us may not get the recognition, we may not even be looked, we may be overlooked and underappreciated. But some people are very talented. Some people have such amazing gifts that nobody really knows because they keep it hidden or because they are putting it out there, but for whatever reason, they're not getting the recognition that, you know, I believe that they should get, right? Because they put the work in, because they actually have the gift. But because of the society that we live in, we already know I'm not going to go too much into that based on how people look, based on what people are willing or not willing to do, based on who they know, the connections that they have. There's just so many different factors as to why some people will be recognized more than others. And I'm not necessarily talking about like celebrities who are at the top. That's another conversation for another day. I'm just talking about them getting the recognition in general so that they can even just be noticed. So when it comes to like the American Idol show, for example, a lot of people were going on the show. I believe the show is still going, right? I don't watch it. I think I watched like a few things here and there in the past. I never was like a really like consistent watcher of the show. I did watch it sometimes in like, the auditions and stuff like that. But, yeah, I never really was, like, a big watcher of the show, but I know that it has really opened doors for certain people, and if I'm mentioning the wrong people, correct me. But, I'm just going off of my head right now, but, like, Kelly Clarkson, Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, Ruben Studdard, I'm not really sure what happened to him, but I know that some people went on the show and they got some pretty good recognition either, leading to a level of success either in the past or they still currently have a level of success. So it has opened a lot of doors. It really does give people the exposure that they really want. I remember when I had auditioned for America's Got Talent in Atlanta years and years and years ago. I was going to school away at college, and I wanted to go to Atlanta. I had never been. I really enjoyed singing, I still do. And I was like, why not go to audition and get the experience? I wasn't expecting to get on TV. Looking back now, I don't even know if I even would have wanted to be on TV, but I definitely just wanted to experience, be able to say that I did it, and it was a nice experience. Most of the people that were there to audition were really cool. They're really nice people. So you meet some really cool people there, even if you don't get picked. It's like, I still had a great time. So I see why some people do it, even if they know they may not make it. And then you have some people who really are serious about their craft and they really are like, I'm gonna win, and they really want to win. And I believe that that's why some people, they go on those shows and they cry and they're devastated when they're told that they just don't have the talent in the way that they thought they did, because this is something that they really dreamed of. Some people traveled um, hours and hours and hours, to go to the audition just to get seen. Um, so it matters a lot to some people. And people know how much attention matters. Nobody's really going to know about you until they see you, right? And you being put on display is what a lot of times will give you the opportunities that you may not be able to get otherwise, when nobody really knows your name and knows who you are. And it's even more important these days, right? Because attention is the main thing. There are even people who have businesses who really don't like being on social media. They really don't like the whole I gotta know this trend and that trend and all that, but they have to be up on it because of the society that we live in now. Unless you run like a restaurant business or something and you already have a large clientele in a community, maybe you don't have to do that. There are some restaurants that I know of that don't have no social media. They ain't doing all the TikTok stuff and they not doing any of that stuff. All they have is just their restaurant, and maybe they have a delivery service and they're doing well, right? But for many people who are trying to start out now, or they're trying to reach a certain demographic, they kind of have to in some way put themselves out there. And attention is important, and there's nothing wrong with attention if it's done in the right way. But a lot of times we can make things our idol. We can idolize people who get attention and almost place them up on a pedestal as if they're God. I was even thinking about the Sarah Russell Wilson thing, and how so many women are kind of like, I want a Russell Wilson, I want to see her prayer, and they just keep, I want the prayer, I want the prayer, I want the prayer. Like they just was really, really focused on that. And there's nothing wrong with desiring a man. First of all, I don't even know what Sierra and Russell Wilson's real relationship is like. Like I talked about before, we don't really know what celebrities' lifestyles are really like behind closed doors. We only know what they show us, right? But let's just say he really is a good man, right? And he really does love on her the way that she wants to be loved. We have to still be careful that we're not trying to live somebody else's life or live vicariously through people that have a certain level of attention or a certain level of popularity and celebrity. We have to make sure that we're not idolicizing that. We have to make sure that it's one thing to admire, it's one thing to admire and to give recognition. It's one thing to be inspired. It's another thing to live vicariously through people, or to idolize or become obsessed. And I think there's a lot of obsession with celebrities. There's a lot of obsession with politicians. There's a lot of obsession with influencers, to the point where, as y'all have seen, people will tear you down if you say something about Nicki Minaj, if you say something about Beyonce, if you say something about Rihanna, if you say it may not even be something negative. You could just say, well, I don't really care for Nicki Minaj music because XYZ. I mean, the barbs will come for you like there's no tomorrow. I mean, I have seen situations where people are literally threatening the people, like, oh, I will smack you and I'll come to your house, or you're just a hater, you're probably broke and you can never make money like her. And it's like, why can't that person just simply just not like Minaj music? Like, they didn't say anything bad, they didn't call her names, they didn't insult her, they just don't like her music. Or maybe they like some of her music and they don't like other music, or maybe they like her music but they don't like the way she is as a person. I mean, that's their opinion, right? Like, we live in a society where people claim that people are supposed to have their opinion and we're supposed to be inclusive and we're supposed to allow people to be who they want to be. But that's a lie, because if you don't agree with the status quo of, oh, I like this celebrity too, or I agree with this celebrity too, then you're going to get attacked. You know what I mean? In some cases, literally. I have heard of YouTubers literally getting their lives threatened because they spoke out about a celebrity, about some things that they felt like were shady or things that they felt like were problematic. And people were literally threatening these people. And that goes to show how obsessed some people are with these celebrities that they will literally threaten people and go on these long arguments over somebody who doesn't even know that you exist. There's nothing wrong with, like I said, liking people, admiring people's talents, but we have to be very careful. We have to be very careful how far we go with these type of things. Um, yeah, we have to be careful. So I'm gonna wrap up here. Um, my internet connection is acting silly. I don't know what's going on because my internet actually acts right, but when I do streaming, it acts weird. But so hopefully my voice is not going out. But I'm gonna wrap up here, and I just want to encourage us to be careful, because we do live in an American Idol society. And if we're not careful, we can idolize so many things. I mean, things are constantly being put in front of our eyes that is shiny, that's beautiful, that's pretty, and it's easy to become obsessed with it. And things that we become obsessed with are the same things that we can come to hate, because obsession is not healthy. Love and being able to be emotionally stable, being able to have a certain level of respect and duty and loyalty to somebody, um, a healthy bond, you know what I mean? Versus an obsession and an idolicizing a person. Um, those are two different things. And this is why you'll see the same people that praise these celebrities sometimes are the same people that then tear them down. Wasn't you just praising this person before? Or it's the opposite. They were talking so much crap about the person, and then when the person dies, they start praising them again. I mean, that just goes to show you that it's not based off of love. It's very volatile. It's kind of like some money. Some people. There's different ways that you can invest, and there's areas that you can invest that are less volatile than other areas, and there are some areas that are pretty volatile. So we have to be careful that we're not lurking into waters that are volatile. Be careful of people praising you, because the same people that praise you could then come against you later on. Um, because what are they praising you for? Is it that they genuinely love you and they care about you and they really have a connection with you, or is it because they just are obsessed with you because you have a certain level of prestige, and because you look a certain way, because you have, well, in this case, it's more attention, right? You are popular, you have a certain level of attention, you have a certain level of influence and celebrity. Be very careful of that, because those same people could then come against you later on. It could turn to envy, it could turn to hate, it could turn to jealousy. So this is why I say our foundation should be love rather than obsession, because obsession can be very dangerous. That's why I don't want anybody being obsessed with me. I think when you're younger and if you're a person who is not secure within yourself, you kind of look for that type of, oh, I just want people to love me. I just want people to love me. But then as you get older and you start working on yourself, you start realizing that desperate type of thing is unhealthy on both ends. You wanting to constantly be seen, but also you want to constantly be obsessed with somebody else. Both of those things are unhealthy. Um, yeah, so yeah, let's be careful of that, and let's not make things an idol. Even though we live in an American Idol society. Um, and it's going to become more and more important because the deception is real out here. Like, the deception is getting more and more thick, and it's going to get harder and harder to be able to determine who is who and who really has bad intentions and who doesn't. A lot of people are falling for a lot of deception, even within even with people that they think, oh, this person is such a good politician, they speak so well, and they haven't committed any crimes, and they're just such a good upstanding citizen, and they fall for it because they don't have the discernment, and because, like I said, they have idolized this person and they have put this person on a pedestal. you know um so there's nothing wrong with having a certain level of respect and admiration for a person, but they should never be put on a pedestal to the point where they can do no wrong, or where they are not critiqued the same way. I'm going to critique Obama the same way I'm going to critique Trump. I'm going to critique Biden the same way I'm going to critique Trump. I'm going to critique um Al Gore the same way I'm going to critique Hillary Clinton. I'm going to critique them all the same way. And a lot of people just don't move that way, because if they like a person, they're not going to critique them. and they can do no wrong. And don't you dare speak about that person that they like, because otherwise off with your head, right? So this is why it shows you just how obsessed people can be and how blinded and how easily deceived people can be because of that. So we have to be very careful with that. But take care, y'all, and I will talk to y'all again soon because I've been talking long enough. And I'll come back with another video. Bye.